morning. I guess it ain't even morning for me, though. Welcome to the bottom of the barrel. There's no cheesecake or caviar for you here. I am a guy that is your host. And let's see what we can scrape together. So, I'm terrible at videos. I'm just starting out, so bear with me. I work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, and much of the time is gig work. I document everything that I do in terms of the numbers, and then I take a look at those numbers every day so that I can see where I can make the most improvements to my process. I use this channel to share that information with you, and I hope that you find something useful in what I'm sharing. If you don't, that's fine. I'll try to improve things along the way. So I guess let's get down into it. You really can't improve a process that doesn't exist, so you got to start if you want to start. If you don't start, you can't start. It's a little turd nugget of wisdom there for you. That's why I'm doing these videos. I know they suck. I know they're terrible. But I know if I don't start, I'll never start. It sounds stupid, but if I don't take that first step, I'll never get to a point where I can optimize the thing that I'm doing. Because I'm not doing it. So that's why I'm doing these videos, even though they are rudimentary and terrible, and there's not even any editing, and it all sucks. But I do think what I'm doing could help you if you let all these other crappy aspects of the channel kind of be put aside. So let's go. Here is yesterday, all the deliveries that I did. Eventually I'll get to where I edit out all of the pauses. But at this point, I don't have time to edit. I don't know how to edit, so I'm just putting it out there with my current best abilities, which are terrible. So these are all the deliveries that I did, including breaks I took. I don't usually take breaks. Yesterday, it was just 2 minutes of break time throughout the whole day. I try to be quick about going to the bathroom, and I do that when I'm waiting for an order that's not ready. The food that I eat is stuff I can just reach into my lunch bag and grab it and eat it. I don't have to stop. I don't have to use a utensil. I don't have to do any prep. It kind of helps keep the time that I'm not working down to a minimum. So earlier I said that I work 15 hours a day. So I do work 15 hours a day. It's not always on gig work, but it's pretty much I get out of the house in the morning, 40 minutes after I've woken up, and I work on gig work and other things until I get home, get ready for bed, and lay down and close my eyes. 7 days a week. Every once in a while, you got other things that get in the way. You got to go to the doctor, or you got to take care of some kind of life administration kind of bullshit. So sometimes it gets in the way. Yesterday, it definitely got in the way. But we'll go over these numbers now. I had a total of 20 orders. 17 were Uber, 2 were DoorDash, 1 was Grubhub. Again, Uber, as much as they screw me over with the failed orders, where somebody has already picked up that order and you went all the way to the store, to the restaurant, wasted your time, you get paid nothing. Uber pays nothing for that. Grubhub is second. They oftentimes only pay me $1 if I marked arrived in the app. DoorDash is a little better about that. They actually will pay you half pay, which is great, especially if you were right next to the restaurant and you only drove maybe 5 minutes, and then you get half of a really large payout, and you don't have to do anything more. Those are great. The worst for DoorDash is if you most of the time is driving to the restaurant and the delivery was going to be 2 minutes from there, and you only get half of your pay, even though you've already done most of the delivery. But I'll take those DoorDash failed orders any day over the other ones. But Uber still gives me the most amount of money. So Had to take the good with the bad. All right, the total time that I was out was 9 hours, 49 minutes, and that's after I've subtracted off any break time that I took. Total mileage was 240. For me, it doesn't really matter much, but I know a lot of people take that into account or complain about it, so that's what I did. Total pay was 210. That's before I subtract off the gas. And the reason I do that is because everybody's car is different. Everybody's driving style is different. For me, that gas cost also depends where you live. So for me, that gas cost is very unique to me, my habits, my car, and my area. And so you can't necessarily expect to replicate the gas cost that I have in your own efforts. So I'll generally use the gross earnings. You can do with that what you like. So per hour is $21.39. There's my gas costs. It's $24.12. I fill up my tank once a day. It's not always when it's empty. So sometimes it won't quite match my mileage, but it is what it is. So that's the overall. Here we're going to look at where that time went. Total time was 9:49. The total active time was 7:34. I had about 2 hours and 15 minutes of just trolling around, waiting for orders, looking for orders. And that's over the whole day. So it's not really a whole lot at any one time. But over the day, it does add up. The two other sources of, I guess, things that reduce the amount of money you make. There's waiting time and there's failed orders. Yesterday, I didn't have any failed orders. That's pretty rare. Failed orders are where the store might be closed, or there's such an excessive wait that you just unassign, and you lost the time it took you to get to the restaurant and figure out that it's not a good order to keep. There's some other ones in there. We'll go over those over time. Total waiting time. Waiting is where you get to a restaurant, order's not ready, or it is, but you can't get any help from the staff, or it's not in the system, which means they haven't even started it, or you're just sitting through the drive-thru. I didn't have any of those yesterday, except for really orders not being ready. It took about a half an hour total. The other sources didn't really turn into much yesterday. So those are the numbers, man. 9 hours and 49 minutes of total time that I was out. 2 hours of trolling and a half hour of total wait time of orders not being ready. So here's where I want to go over something that kind of helps motivate me to improve my process. And that is what I like to call the total theoretical earning limit for that particular day. And what I do is I basically remove all of the time that doesn't allow you to make money. So all the waste, all the non-value added time. And I see, okay, well, how much, given how things were, if I could remove all of the wasted time, how much could I have made yesterday? So let's go over that right now. I made $210 over 9 hours and 49 minutes, but here's the sources of waste and non-value added time. Trolling was 2 hours and 50 minutes. Waiting was 32 minutes. Failed orders, didn't have any of that yesterday, which is unusual. But the total wasted time was 2 hours and 47 minutes. And so if we eliminate that, I would have made $210 in 7 hours of working, of arriving at restaurants and moving orders from the restaurant to the customer, driving to another restaurant and moving that to the customer, and not having any of these other sources of wasted time. I would have made $29.86 if I made that 210 in 7 hours. And if you scale that to 15 hours, if you can be efficient in the rest of the other areas of your life so that time not working is a minimum, is brought to a minimum, which may not be what you want, but that's what I aim for. I would have made $448. Now, usually my theoretical limit's a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. $448, that's nearly double it's actually more than double what I made. What would that be as a percent? We will find out. 448 divided by 210. And I can't see it, of course. 213%. 213%. So the potential for the day could have been 213% of what I made. Now, if you just want to see in the time that I actually did spend working, well, we can see. That's 2986 divided by 9 hours and 49 minutes. Well, that's not right. Oh, because it should be times $293. Could have made $293 in 10 hours. That's not bad. That would have been better than what I made. So anyways, my whole point for that is that there's a lot of potential in the day. You know, I only made $210 in just under 10 hours. You know, not great. It's a little bit above minimum wage, but I don't have a boss breathing down my neck. I don't have anybody telling me to do the job differently than how I think I should do it. And I can stop and start as needed by the other things in my life. And so it motivates me because $448 is a lot of money. If I could make that every day, I'd be making good money. What would that be? That'd be almost $15,000 a month. It's pretty good. Pretty dang good. So I wanted to go over that theoretical limit. I'll start going over that every time. Not in so much detail, but just putting it up there so you can see, you know, really what can we do with gig work? What's something we can work towards? So that's that. I think we are done for today. Let's see. That's, like I said, there's something to think about. It's more than double what I made. So if we can eliminate some of that sources of waste, and tomorrow I'll talk about that a little bit. I'll talk about a couple of things I'm doing on both of those fronts in order to reduce that waste. If you think there's any value in what I'm sharing with you, granted, the video quality sucks. My presenting quality sucks. My editing is non-existent. But if you think there's any value in it, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I'll be back here tomorrow.